What's up guys, it's Josh from KeepItTechie, and today I want to do a quick video showing you guys Q4OS. Okay, so Q4OS is another Debian-based Linux distribution, but this one is slightly different. It actually by default comes with the Plasma desktop, which is KDE. So I wanted to go through and check this distribution out with you guys and just show you how to actually install it and do a quick review. So let's get started. Okay, so I went to the Distro watch page just to pull it up, just to show you guys a little bit about the OS before I get to the install. Now, if we look at on Distro watch, like I said, it says Q4OS. It was last updated May 13, 2020, according to Distro watch. But basically the OS type is Linux. You know, it's a Debian-based distribution, so Debian stable, and then the origin is actually Germany. So someone developed this in the country of Germany. So if we look at it though a little bit more, you know, the architecture is aORch64, i686 and x86 64. Desktop is KDE Plasma, and then they also have a Trinity desktop, which is like a very lightweight desktop. I'll show you guys that when I actually install it. And actually I made a mistake in the beginning, based on looking at their the Distro watch page. Now their default desktop environment is Trinity, but they do have a KDE Plasma version, so that's pretty cool. And the category, you know, it says desktop, you know, live media, or old computers. And I always like to look at, you know, Linux distributions that work well on older computers, because I like to, you know, recycle old hardware, you know what I'm saying, and repurpose it for something else where you can still use it. But let's read a little bit more. It says Q4OS is a Debian-based desktop Linux distribution designed to offer classic style user interface, which is that Trinity desktop that I was talking about, and simple accessories, and to serve stable APIs for complex third-party applications such as Google Chrome, VirtualBox, and development tools. The system is also very useful for virtual cloud environments due to its very low hardware requirements, and we'll get to that in a second though. And the popularity, that's dealing with the Distro watch page. What they do is they track like hits on the actual website and kind of give you an idea of the popularity of the actual distribution. But if we go down a little further, you know, you can go to the home page, which is what I'm gonna go down and open it up in another tab. But if we look down here, they have documentation or a link to the documentation, a few screenshots, you know, and all that good stuff. But let's go down and go to the Q4OS website. And the website is Q4OS.org. I'll link that down in the description below. But I won't reread some of the same stuff, but I just want to, you know, read a little bit. But it says, welcome to Q4OS, fast and powerful operating system based on the latest technology. While offering high productive desktop environments, we focus on security, reliability, long-term stability, and conservative integration of verified new features. System is distinguished by speed and very low hardware requirements. Runs great on brand new machines as well as legacy computers. It is also very applicable for virtualization and cloud computing. So that's one thing they, you know, kind of highlight, that, you know, it's good for virtualization as well as cloud computing, which is, you know, pretty cool. So I'm not going to go through too much. I know a lot of my review videos end up being kind of long, so I'm trying to speed this one up so I can not have you guys waiting through a long video, especially when I show you guys the install process. So let's go on and get started. I already have the ISO downloaded, but just a way to download it right fast, just click download. You can download the Plasma version and the Trinity version, and they have a live one and they have the install for the Trinity. And as you can see, the actual desktop is, or the ISO is very small compared to other distributions, like a lot of other distributions. Like you can download Manjaro, I think it's like 2.1 gigabytes to download, depending on the desktop that you download. Or Ubuntu, their desktop edition is like 1.5 gigs or close to 2 gigabytes of download. This is a very compact, you know, distribution based on what I'm seeing, and that's just based on the ISO. Now I don't know what'll happen once we install it, because I haven't installed this, but some systems, they'll come with a small ISO, but it does a lot of downloading during the installation process. So we'll see what happens when we actually get to it, and that'll let us know about how big, you know, everything is for the desktop to actually run. And what I'm gonna do is install a Trinity version. I'm not gonna install a Plasma version. I might do another video and just install a Plasma version as well, but I'll just stick with the Trinity because that's their lightweight, efficient desktop. So let's go down and get started with the install though. Okay, cool. So I have the virtual machine set up. I basically gave it 4 processing cores and 8 gigabytes of memory. I know this kind of overkill for this virtual machine, but I just wanted to, you know, just put whatever I could on it. I kind of have a template that I follow with all my virtual machines now, and I just remove them after, especially if it's an OS I don't plan on using in the future. I just create whatever I need and then just delete the virtual machine after that. But I already have it set up. Like I stated, I already have the ISO attached to the virtual machine. So let's go down and start it up right fast and see if we can go through this process right fast. And the whole purpose of me doing this is just to show you guys the install process, you know, so you can actually try it out for yourself. But as you can see, it pops up, you know, with a menu. I'm gonna just go into the live version, press enter right there and wait for it to come up. We can go through this whole little process. But while I'm thinking about it, if this is your first time at this channel, please go down and like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. I'm a fairly small Linux channel. I do a lot of Linux content. I try to make Linux content as much as I can around my full-time job, but I appreciate you guys coming check out this video though. But as you can see, we are already up with the desktop, so let's go in here. This is actual let's see, screen scaler. Let's just press apply on it. Yeah, it doesn't matter. With this, I'm gonna just keep the defaults. Just kind of wait for it to start the desktop. And as you can see, it's a pretty clean desktop. I like it, you know what I'm saying? And that's pretty cool. It already detects that it is running in a VirtualBox. So that's cool right there. That, I mean, a lot of them don't really know, you know what I'm saying? So let's kind of go through the actual install. Let's see if we can install this right fast. And maybe this won't have an installer on it because it's a live system. I may need to download another version with the installer. Yeah, I think I might have to. Let's go back here. And no, I'm tripping. You can install it directly from the desktop. Yeah, and I forgot a lot of distributions actually do that. You know, they'll put it on there. And actually, let me configure the screen right fast. I'm pretty sure they have display settings in here somewhere. So I'm gonna just type display and let's see if it comes up. And it doesn't, so let's just go into the control panel and let's click on it's probably under appearance, I'm assuming. Actually, let's go back. Not desktop. Let's just go to system administrator and see if it's there. Yeah, and here we go, monitor and display. And it's just, you know, a pretty different, you know, style. So let's go in here to the resolution and see if we can adjust it. And it looks like we might not be able to adjust it, probably until we install it, because we're running in a virtual machine. There we go. I had to turn on the global, enable the global display controls. So let's type in, go to the resolution and layout, and let's see. Oh yeah, you got to move it around. This is kind of old school. This is very old school. This is cool. So what's been working for me just to make it look right is is 1360 by 7. Actually, let's make it smaller. No, I minimized it. And let's go down and make this screen a little smaller. And that's where the problem lies. Why I always have to adjust the desktop, because cool. And then let's accept that configuration. Press OK. And accept configuration. Cool. So now we have the screen full screen. Let's go down and go through the install. So it basically is a installer on the desktop. You just click install Q4OS, and this should open up the installer. And I'm not sure of what the actual installer is, but it's pretty similar to a lot of the other installers. Actually, let's see if we can find out what it is. Oh, and it's the Cinerus installer. So let's select the language, American English. Hit next. Los Angeles. That's cool that it picked up my location. And then English for the keyboard settings. Next. The partition. I always select erase this, and that way it'll do the automatic partitioning for us. I gave it a 20 gigabyte hard drive, so that's enough. It's more than enough actually for the installation. So let's go down and press next there, but you can obviously go in and manually partition the drive, and also you can select a different location where you want to install. So let's hit next, and then this is where we go down and set up our account. So my name is Josh. I'm gonna just put Josh, and I always name it the operating system. So Q4OS, and let's type in the password. And it's always good to see, you know, a Linux desktop that don't require you to use a different name for the computer name from the actual distribution, because some distributions, if you type in the name of the actual distribution, it'll say you can't name it the same as the distribution, because I guess they don't want a whole bunch of computers with the same host name as the distribution out there, you know, on the web. But you know, it's good to not see that, you know what I'm saying. And I never log in automatically without asking for the password, and press next. And then this is the summary, so we can go down and hit install, and that'll go down and start that process. And I'll turn on some music. It probably won't take that long. We'll see though. So I'll speed it up and put on like some music or whatever in the background, but be back in a second. Okay, cool. So the installation is done. Let's go down and reboot the system. So all we have to do is hit done. It already checks the box for a restart now. So let's go down and hit done. And just so you guys know, this is my first time touching this distribution. I've never used it before. I've never even tried it, you know, or in the past. And actually, let me close it right fast, because I probably gotta remove the disk, otherwise it's gonna go into the live OS. So just bear with me if I kind of fumble through it. I'm looking at this for the first time, just like you guys are if you haven't seen this distribution before. So let's go into the settings right fast. And I know you guys can't see this, but I'm trying to remove the live ISO. I have to go in here into VirtualBox, you know, the manager, and remove the disk, and then go on and start it back up. So you guys should see it pop up in a second, and it should be up. So, and this is the version I installed on that actual virtual hard drive. So we'll wait for this to come up, and then we'll go through and kind of look through the system. And like I said, this is my first time actually touching it, so you guys are seeing this for the first time just like I'm seeing it for the first time. So that's why I kind of fumbled through it, you know, a little bit in the beginning, actually looking at the desktop. So, and cool, this is the desktop manager. So we can just click on our name and that'll select that user, type in the password, and not sure what happened. Hold on one second. Click that. Okay, cool. So let's hit log in, and I think it's gonna play some desktop music. So I turn on the audio for the desktop, and what it's gonna do is try to set the desktop. You know, it's gonna reset, and actually I don't know what these tabs are for. So it says tab 1, tab 2. I'm not even sure what this is. I think this has something to do with the virtual machine. It's because it's trying to figure out the scaling of the actual system, which I'm gonna just hit apply. I'm not sure if that's gonna show up if you install it on a actual system or not, but as you can see, before it actually starts, one thing about it, which is pretty cool, this will allow you to install the KDE desktop, you know, and it'll leave the Trinity desktop as an option in the desktop manager. So when you log in, you can select whatever desktop environment you want to. So that's cool that they added that feature in there. So if you didn't install or if you didn't download the KDE version, it gives you that option to download KDE Plasma and have it on the system as well. But like I said, I want to show you guys on Trinity, which is that default, you know, desktop environment. I'm not gonna go through the installation of that, so I'm gonna just ignore that option for the moment. Just click Trinity. I want to use that as the default. And one thing about it, it pops up with a desktop profiler, so you can actually do the full featured desktop with a web browser, Office Suite, you know, and recommended applications. And I thought that would have been installed. Yeah, and this is what I was saying earlier. Some distributions, they will install all the featured applications after you install the OS. So it won't come included. That's why the ISO is so small. Now I get it. Now I see why it doesn't have it. It doesn't have all the features that a typical desktop would have. So I'm gonna do the full feature. I might have to turn on some more music just so it can go through this whole process. Yeah, and it's gonna be a lot of packages that it's gonna download. So I'll turn on some music again and let it go through this process. And actually, it looks like it might not take that long. Well, I don't know. So I'm gonna put on the music regardless and skip through this. Be back in a few. Okay, cool. So this is one thing I do not like. I would have preferred the installer or the first installer to include all the base packages. So this is just one thing I do not like about this distribution. So when I go through the install, I don't have to wait again to actually set up the desktop by installing all the default applications. I would prefer for the system to boot up and I have everything I need and I can get right to work instead of, and then I understand it's a trade-off. So the install was kind of quick of the base, you know, operating system as well as the desktop manager, but now I have to wait another however long this takes to install the actual desktop environment and set up the profile and all that stuff before I can actually get to work. So this is, I just want to pop in right fast while this is going, just to, you know, say that, because this you know, it's kind of irritating a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I mean, even though once you have it set up, you're never going to go through this process again, unless you have to reinstall the operating system for whatever reason. This is something I really don't like. So let me go back to the music, and I'll be back when it completes. Okay, cool. So this thing finally finished, and it actually took a long time. So I'm gonna cut part of it out in the video, or speed it up as much as I can, or whatever, so you guys can see it. But this is, like I said a few minutes ago, this is something I do not like. Why not just, you know, include everything in the ISO, or in release newer ISO? Because I think that ISO is kind of old. I'm assuming. Because you have to download, you know, all the updates as well as all the normal desktop applications. And good thing I didn't select KDE Plasma as well to be installed, because that would have took more time, you know what I'm saying? So, but that's one reason why I do these reviews, so you guys can get a picture of what it'll be like to install it on your system, and what things you may face if you do the install on a full-blown system. So let's go down and hit finish on this thing. I'm pretty sure it's gonna reboot, or it may just pop up with the screen. I'm not sure. We'll see. Okay, so here's the window manager. So let's go down and log into it. This is our main account. Press enter, log in. I'm gonna go through and fix the display as well once the system comes up. And cool. So one thing that it does is it optimizes Q4OS for a VirtualBox. So it'll go on and recognize that you're running in a VirtualBox and install the guest editions or whatever that you can, you know, update the system so it'll run better in VirtualBox. But I'm not gonna go through the installer because I already went through an installer of a whole bunch of stuff, so I could do that later. And I'll just click yes right here. Basically what that's saying is do I want this to show the next time I reboot the system. So I'll do yes, because I may come back on here and play around with this system a little bit more after I record this video. But let's go down and close the welcome screen. But this is what you'll be greeted. You know, you have you can run that desktop profiler again, install applications, install proprietary codexes, you know, turn on desktop effects, switch to kick off start menu. You can change that from here, and you can, you know, obviously turn this thing off, this welcome page off, so every time you log in it doesn't, you know, pop up with this welcome screen. But it may be beneficial to someone new to Linux. You know what I'm saying? You'll have all these options pop up every time until you get used to the system, and then you can turn it off. But you know, you have that option there. But also with the switch to kickoff start menu, there is set auto login, and then they have some more options. So you can go in, set up screen scaling, hardware info, you know, documents online, and all that good stuff. Now let me go down and fix the desktop so it'll show right on the screen. And actually, let's go into the control panel, and I think it's under system administration. Yeah, desktop and display. And since we run in a system, it's gonna ask you for your password, for your sudo password, in order to open up certain settings. And from what I remember, you just enable this and then go in here, and then we can change the resolution. I'm gonna change it to the one that actually works well for my videos. And let's click test settings, and that should fix it for us. And then let's press accept configuration, hit apply, and okay, cool. And so now we have the full screen, and I like this transparency that they have on it when you have something selected. I meant to talk about that earlier. Even throughout the whole process, that's one cool feature that I like, or the theming of it, you know, that I like, that transparency when you have something selected and you're actually moving it around, you know what I'm saying? It makes it, you know, transparent, which is super cool. So let's go down and start off from the right hand side. So obviously this is a calendar, and that's a pretty cool calendar. I'm not sure of where they got a lot of these applications from, or if they're, you know, newly built, but this is the power savers menu, so you can click on that. And I also don't know what this desktop is based on, but here we go. This is the sound, so you can open up the mixer. You know, they got inputs, all that stuff. It uses pulse audio and K-Mix. Let me see what this is right fast. Actually, let's look at the Trinity desktop environment. Okay, so Trinity desktop environment was born as a fork of K desktop environment version 3.5, which was originally written by the KDE team. Okay, so this is a KDE fork, or the K desktop environment fork. So I wanted to find that information out. I didn't know exactly where to look, but I'm glad I was able to find it there. But yeah, if we go back here to the help, I just wanted to look at K-Mix and see what it was, or who created it. And I'm not sure, this may be a custom application. And to be honest, don't beat me up, guys, if you know KDE. I don't know KDE. I've always used XFCE and GNOME, so I don't know much about the K desktop or KDE desktop. I've installed it, and that's about it. I haven't went in and looked at all the applications that are on there. The only application that I know kind of like in and out that was created by the KDE team is Kdenlive. I'm not even sure if they created it, but it's a KDE application. It was actually built to run on KDE, so I know that program in and out. That's what I use to edit my videos. So let me go down and close that. But that's the mixer for the volume. And then if we go right here, let's see what this is. This is our network connections. Okay, cool. And I kind of like this theme or whatever. And what I'm talking about is the icons, like the way they look. It's pretty cool. And this is your clipboard, you know what I'm saying? So Clipper, that's pretty cool. And then let's go down and close this welcome screen, but that'll pop up, you know, every time. But this is cool, right on your desktop. You know, you got your My Computer, which will just open up the root directory, you know, my documents. It comes with Google Chrome. I wonder if we can organize that right fast. So you can, you know, align them horizontally, or you can align them however you want to, and align vertically. So that's cool. And I'm pretty sure it kind of messed up because of the display settings that we had set up on here, you know, when they put the icons on there. But that's pretty cool, man. It gives you kind of a Windows feel, so you have all your little icons on the desktop, you know, you'll be good to go. But that's cool. They put Thunderbird on the desktop, Google Chrome, VLC, you know, that's always needed for your audio. And then they do have another web browser. What is this? Let's see what this is. And I never used this before. So that's Conqueror. Okay, yeah, I've actually seen Conqueror before. I played around with it before. So that's a you know, a good little browser or whatever you can use. But it also comes with Google Chrome, which is pretty cool. But here is the Synaptic Package Manager, and I'm excited to see that on there. I always like and I really like to see the Synaptic Package Manager, you know, on systems. It's a very simple but effective package manager. So it's, you know, it's just the standard in my opinion. I mean, it's easy to use, GUI, you know, style package manager. So but this is how you can manage all your applications on the system, and you can go through and upgrade, you know, all that good stuff. So and then you can filter, you know, and all that good stuff. So I'm not gonna go through it all, you guys. It's just basically a package manager. It's just not as pretty as the software center that comes on like Ubuntu or whatever, but it accomplishes the mission, which is to install applications. So let's go down and close that. But that's on the desktop for you. But let's go down and hit the start menu. I kind of went in here already, but and if you look at it, it's kind of like KDE. Because I remember, you know, installing KDE in the past, you know what I'm saying, and that works. So they do have install application center. So they do have a software center where you can install things, but that Synaptic Package Manager, you know, will do the exact same thing by installing things. But this shows it in a better way for people that need to look at this, you know, in a, I guess, a simpler way. You can see the icons and all that good stuff. So you can manage your software here as well. And then if we click back on the start menu, one thing I wanted to do was go into the control panel, and I already showed you this when I was going through and fixing my display, but this is how you go through and customize the system based on what I saw. So you can go into appearance and themes, change the backgrounds, which is cool. You know, it gives you a little snippet of what it'll look like when you have it, and then you can install other, you know, desktops. It comes with simple backgrounds for the systems. So let's do that one right fast. That's funny. So let's hit apply, press OK. Cool. So that's a cool when you can see the, you know, the pyramids and all that stuff. That's cool. But you can go through and change the coloring, and they have, you know, color themes, and this is cool how they give you like an example of what it'll look like. You know what I'm saying? You can go through and mess around with it or whatever. Let's change that up to cool. Press OK. Change the fonts, you know, look switcher. So this is a way to change the TDE themes. So you can install themes on here, and you can go through and modify the system. Oh, that's cool right there. That kind of looks like Windows 7. So let me hit apply theme on this to see what happens. And you have to log out and log back in. So let me log back in once it pops back up. There we go. Cool. So let's type in my password, bring it up, and this should show. Yeah, that's cool, man. It's like almost like Windows 7. That's super cool. So let's go back in here. Oh, XP almost. That's super cool. I wouldn't necessarily keep this, but I mean that's cool to know that it's there, you know what I'm saying? But let's go down and switch that back. That's like Windows 7. And let's try this one right fast. I just want to try it. So let's log out again and then log back in. Let's just wait a second. But yeah, if you guys didn't know, when you install custom themes on your system, a lot of times everything doesn't work until you reboot the system. So this is cool. Let's go on and align our icons again, because I'm a stickler when it comes to the desktop. I want it to, you know, look right. but that's pretty much it. All I wanted to show you guys on here. They have all the other options. You know, you can obviously mess around with networking. You know, this is your mouse, your hardware stuff. So, and then they got language, you know, issues or regional and accessibility, you know, information. And I kind of like the way they have it all like in a folder format. That's cool. That's something you typically don't see. You know what I'm saying? It's normally like in a menu or something. And I'm basing it off of XFCE or GNOME or something like that. But let me see what's in this privacy port. Oh, they have crypto wallet. I'm assuming that's a wallet. And I'm not 100% sure, but configure SSL, manage certificates, and other cryptography settings. Okay. All right. So, and to be honest, I don't know what that's for. Oh, okay. You can create certs and all that stuff and manage everything. It's kind of, I think it's kind of like Seahorse, which is a way to manage like your keys and passwords. But this is your password right here. Well, this is the information for that account. And probably if we make it bigger, we'll see. Yeah, I don't know. I guess you can go through and just change everything or change your password and update your user information, which is cool. So this is user account settings. I thought it would have had something in there. That's why I was kind of looking. I was wondering if you can create an account here, but you know, you can always create it on the desk. I mean, in the terminal. But yeah, I was just checking to see. And then privacy settings. Okay, cool. So you can go through and turn off certain things on the system. So let's go down and clean that. And then look like a cleanup process. Oh, and they do have a wallet. So TDE wallet. I never used that application, but that's there. So, and then under the system administration, obviously, oh yeah, you can create users under here though. You have to go under the system administration folder, but you know, font installer, you know, date, time, monitor display, like I did earlier, paths, screen scaling, update manager, and users and groups. Like what I was saying earlier, you can create users and groups using this application, which is pretty cool. So that's pretty much all the settings. And then it was a couple other things. Well, that's pretty much it. I mean, everything else seems to work just like any other Linux application, but I mean, or a Linux distribution, but you can go through and see all the applications that are on here. I kind of went through the trouble to, you know, install all this stuff and waited all that time. And I kind of want to show it, but I don't want to extend the video out too long. You know what I'm saying? So they got a few games on here. You know what I'm saying? Core games. So I mean, it's cool they got them broken out by the various categories. You know what I'm saying? But Office, obviously, I told it to install LibreOffice. I think that was part of the packages to install LibreOffice. So that's cool. And some of this stuff is KDE stuff. So they have KDE document viewer that's installed. And then this is some more of the settings. Oh, that's cool. I didn't see that. I didn't know they had a firewall configuration. So you set up the firewall under, you know, there. And then here is some system tools that you most likely would need. So there's the terminal. It's kind of weird that you got to go find it, but let's see if can we. But yeah, I mean, you actually got to find it. So it has console on here with a K, which is, you know, KDE's console. So you can, you know, update the system just like Debian. So sudo apps. I'm assuming it has app. Let me make sure. Should has chat. Yeah, app is on here, so you can install your packages that way as well. So it's pretty cool. And let's go back into these applications right fast. And yeah, under the utilities, you know, text editor, normal text editor, kwrite. Let's see, files, you know, archiving tool. They got orc. I've used orc before. They got xfburn to burn disk which most people don't use nowadays. Most people don't even have a CD probably around their house or a CD drive on their system, so that's not needed really, but it's there if you need it. But that's pretty much all I wanted to show you guys. I mean, it's pretty simple how to actually, you know, use it, and it looks like you can search right here. Yeah, you can go through and search. That's pretty cool. But you can lock the system right here, and then you can turn off the system. So just hit turn off and that'll shut down the system. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hopefully this, you know, gives you an idea about Q4OS, like how it operates, how to install it, you know, some of the applications that are installed on it. So I hope this kind of helps you make a decision if this is one of the distributions you want to check out and try it on your system. But if you have any questions, leave comments down in the comment boxes below. You know what I'm saying? I'll have all the links down in the description box. You can obviously go to Q4OS to get some of the documentation if you need to, or look at it. But like I said, thank you guys for watching the video, and I hope you guys have a good night. Keep it techie.